So welcome everybody. Tonight I'm happy to say that we're going to talk about lemon essential oil and its healing benefits and uses and lots of fun things. So first thing we'll do is talk about the medical disclaimer. And so the information presented here is for informational and personal use only and should not be assumed or taken as medical advice. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. I'm going to start with a little history of lemon. So while we speak frequently about the historical use of many essential oils, including lemon, the history of lemon itself is shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. We've seen lemons in Ayurvedic medicine for as much as a century, and lemons appear again in Josephus's writing describing a high priest's fruitful encounter with an angry crowd in 90 BC, who proceeded to pelt him with lemons for his errant ways. And Virgil also wrote about lemons in 70 BC.
Wow.
The lemon itself is native to Asia. It's grown from a small evergreen tree. Multiple cultures claim that the lemon as their own, from Burma to China to Northeast India. And botanists from the University of California have their own twist, believing that the lemon is actually a hybrid fruit combining sour orange and citron rather than standing alone as an individual historical species. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits of lemon oil and its healing powers and the component D-limonene. So the key to its healing power comes from the lemon rinds, where you extract the essential oil. And it's one of the richest sources of D-limonene, which is the most common cancer-fighting terpene in nature. So terpenes and the D-limonene are the chemical composition that makes up the essential oil. So there's different components in each one of the oils. On the slide, you can see that really orange has an even greater amount of this, grapefruit and tangerine, but lemon still has quite a bit. So what it can do, it can boost your immunity, reverse liver and pancreas damage, kills pathogens, and it can act as a food preservative. It will aid in weight loss, can decrease anxiety, and helps to promote restful sleep. I know I don't usually think of lemon for that, but because I think of it as brightening things up and giving me energy, but it can work in the reverse way.
Oh.
So, wanted to talk a little bit about lemon and other citrus oils and how they're photosensitive. And so you have to take some caution when using them. So they're known for their bright and summery scents. Citrus oils are among the most common essential oils that will cause photosensitivity. That's because there's compounds within those citrus oils that are, it doesn't really matter what the name is, but it's furanocoumarins that increase your ultraviolet sensitivity. And while most photosensitive oils are citrus, other oils can contain compounds that may have the same effect, meaning that they're not safe to be in the sun as well. So it's always important to check the label before applying any photosensitive oils. So all of Young Living's oils, they're labeled, that are photosensitive, are labeled. And that includes lemon and lime, grapefruit, orange, bergamot, tangerine, peace and calming, because that blend has some citrus oils in it. Stress away, citrus fresh, gentle baby, and joy. They're just some of the real popular ones that have it. So just remember to always check your labels. And how do you reduce the risk of having a negative reaction from these oils? So if you're going to apply them to your skin and you know you're going to be in the sun the next day, you could apply it at nighttime. And you know, if you're using it in a skin routine or a body wash or a lotion, do it the night before. You could cover yourself up if you have the oils on your body, you know, making sure that wherever you've applied it, you're wearing clothing to cover it. And again, read those label instructions. So if it's undiluted, it could require 12 hours before you can go into the sun, and sometimes even 48 hours. So learn about your own sensitivities and just be really careful. Current research. Now, there is research that goes on about essential oils. It's not as much as pharmaceuticals, but they are studied. So there are hundreds that have been referred to the benefits of lemon essential oil and exploring, you know, the traditional uses. Its most prominent component, another component, is limonene, and it's likely the key to its potency, and it's also found in other citrus oils. It has cancer-fighting antioxidant power. It has a strong foundational composition, and that's why we continue to do research on it. So let's talk a little bit about Alzheimer's and dementia. So dementia occurs when brain nerve cells become damaged. Being that this affects several areas of the brain, people experience dementia quite differently. There are various types, and they are often categorized by the part of the brain that's damaged and whether the condition worsens. Alzheimer's disease, the most common cause of dementia in seniors over 65, has been researched extensively, and essential oils can be of great help. So for instance, the effects of aromatherapy were evaluated on elderly people suffering from dementia, with the majority being diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. They were given rosemary, a combination of rosemary and lemon, and they inhaled it in the morning. Then they were given lavender and orange in the evening. And through multiple tests and forms of analysis, the patient showed significant improvement in personal orientation without any of the, you know, bad and deleterious kind of side effects that can happen. Nausea and vomiting. So there was an interesting study that was done, it was back in 2014, and it highlighted the benefits that lemon has for pregnant women dealing with nausea and vomiting. And it was actually the first study of its kind, and they discovered some really interesting results. So basing their research findings on the personal report of 100 women, they learned that the majority were significantly more satisfied with aromatherapy. They just simply, you know, they smelled the lemon essential oil from the bottle than they were with the drugs that were given or with placebo. And if anyone at any point wants any of the documentation or where this came from, I'm happy to provide that. As far as an antioxidant, so another component of lemon that researchers have recently validated is a component called geraniol. And to evaluate the antioxidant ability to reverse damage from inflammation and oxidative stress, which we're all exposed to and deal with on a daily basis, scientists in India gave the geraniol, now this is about rats, to rats with diabetic neuropathy. And over the course of an 8-week study, markers of sciatic nerve damage and mitochondrial enzymes were both restored significantly. And as a bonus, they also observed that their dopamine levels, that's the neurotransmitter that's associated with healthy functions like movement, and so that was restored and got much better.
And how did Vicki, so they ingested the lemon oil, or what, how did they, what did they do?
They had them ingested, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just straight, or, you know, what was?
I'd have to pull the entire study up, which I'll be happy to do.
No,
Yeah.
don't do it.
I didn't look at how the study was set up.
Okay.
So it was an animal study, and sometimes you can't say absolutely that every animal study will mirror what happens in humans,
right.
but it is the first way to start looking at things.
Right.
And so there's the potential benefits that that using the lemon essential oil has some promising aspects as far as mitochondrial disease and effects on stress and heart and aging. Then there's food safety. There was another benefit to essential oil. It was a USDA study that utilized lemon in studying E. coli and salmonella. So what they did, they were trying to see what would happen to apple juice. So it successfully protected apple juice against dangerous bacterial strains. So that it confirmed that it is good for using it as a against microbial issues. So just some of the few studies that have gone on. Any questions?
How would you use that? Yeah, how would you use that to avoid the E. coli and salmonella?
Oh, well, certainly I would ingest it or even use it on my body, just having that. I mean, if I were concerned about, well, if I was concerned about food, I wouldn't eat it. But I wouldn't want to, like when I go to a restaurant,
No, I mean, like,
lemon into the glass, I don't want them to do that.
Why is that?
Because I don't know
right.
how many people.
No, I meant the USDA.
I'm sorry. What was the
How
question?
did the USDA utilize it for the E. coli and salmonella?
Well, they would, I did again pull up that study, but I would assume that they've dropped straight essential oil into, setting up a bacterial study and seeing if the bacteria grows in that media. So you can make like an agar plate and put essential oil in it, add your bacteria to it, and if it doesn't grow, then it's killed it. That's a very basic study.
Got it. Okay.
But Vicki, I'm also thinking that, it's the perfect oil to, use as a vegetable wash for that very reason.
Right.
I'm thinking about the E. coli outbreak now with the romaine lettuce. And I mean, people have lost their lives with that.
Right. I was at an event today where we were giving out food and I made food samplings for hundreds of people. And a number of people came up to me and they were worried if they were getting greens and they wanted to know if it was safe and if it was safe to eat the romaine. And I think they've stopped the romaine that came from that source in Yuma. So there shouldn't be any around. But a woman told me of a family she knew, a 5-year-old girl in this area died from eating the lettuce. So I agree with you as far as using lemon to clean your veggies. I'd make a combination of thieves and lemon oil. And I use that as my veggie wash, and I spray our veggies with that and our fruit. So, but people are very concerned, understandably.
Yeah.
So even if as a preventative, I would always carefully wash things. And if you have your essential oils, I would certainly make my own fruit and vegetable wash.
Great.
But I'm thinking to even, whatever water you're drinking or beverage, you're drinking iced tea or whatever, to be using lemon in that as well,
Right. And that's why I really don't like the lemons out in a restaurant. I don't, know where they came from, who's handled it, and then you're putting it into your drink.
Right.
So
Yeah.
drop oil can work if you like it.
So one of the things I want to say,
grapefruit's good too.
if I could share something about that, Vicki.
Sure.
When you go to a bar and they're typically taking money and then slicing up a lemon right there.
Yeah.
The thing about fruit when we're slicing into it, if we're not cleaning the outside of the fruit, there's a possibility that the bacteria could get into the interior part of the fruit.
Yes.
So I agree with you as far as the lemon. And I try to stay away with the lemon. If I do take a lemon in my drink, I'll just squeeze it in. But that's still...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did just take a bottle of lemon oil with me.
Right. And, I like a lot of drinks sometimes with lime. You could just take a bottle of lime oil as well, if that's what you're interested in.
Right. But if you would have like a Pellegrino and one of the nice effervescent mineral waters, and then add a lemon or a lime oil, 1 drop, that would be a nice summer refreshing drink.
Absolutely.
And of course, making a mojito is another idea.
Yeah, I was thinking of maybe having an essential oil party here, and we could have Ninja Red mojitos without alcohol. So
right.
So we're gonna have to experiment on that. So now let's do a few of the practical applications, the things that you can, as we've just talked about, using it certainly in food and such, but you can use it to freshen clothes. I know that I've certainly been guilty of it, where you put a load of laundry in the wash and then you forget to put it into the dryer.
Yeah.
And when you go back, however long it is, it may not smell very well. One preventative way to deal with that is to add some essential oil of lemon in your rinse water. So it would at least already be applied to your clothing and could help, keep it fresher. Or you can certainly add lemon to your dryer balls that I'm sure you've all purchased now, and put your lemon on that to freshen the clothing when you dry them. So there's 2 possible things there.
Will the lemon scent can you smell the lemon scent, which is nice and fresh?
You would smell a little bit. It depends how much you use. Just use a few drops and you might have a very mild scent. But I like it with the lemon scent on clothing.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if anyone, plays under trees or sits around, but there's, often gums and saps that can fall from that and get on your clothing. And also, I always tell my story of me cooking, and I generally don't wear aprons, so I get spots on my shirts. And I find that using straight lemon essential oil right on those spots and just wait, a minute. And then I usually wash it out with Thieves Household Cleaner or the Thieves Hand Wash, and then, scrub it for a second and then put it in the laundry, and those spots are gone.
That is an amazing thing. I've witnessed that myself. I witnessed the spots, those grease spots. It's like, how the hell did I do that again?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
No, you can't wait too long. I mean, if you've already washed and dried, it's hard to get them out, but I have gotten them out even after that when I haven't noticed them right away. So that saved me having to buy a number of new shirts. So that's really good. So let's look on the picture here. You'll see a picture of these really dirty hands. So it can great if you're doing mechanical work or someone at your house is. So I don't know, Irma, do you want to tell the story of when Dave was here and our handyman? And
yeah, so we found Dave. Dave became our house husband, but then he divorced us, I think.
And he's a wonderful dancer. So
yeah, we did a combination of could you fix this entire thing? We'll make you dinner. And can we do Zydeco dancing afterwards? Yeah. And he came with his whole little equipment. And he is an incredible dancer. Yeah. So Dave was working outside and he got his hands full of, I don't know if it was turpentine or gasoline. And he's like, oh, how do I get this off? And what I remember, and I did this also with John, is I said, let's just use a little lemon oil, put it on, and took a cloth, and it was gone.
Yeah. And there's no toxins. Yeah.
And no toxins, right. Yeah. John actually freaked out when he saw that. He's like, wow, damn, that's good.
How about, Goo Off or whatever that is? Would it help remove labels off of bottles?
Yes, well, we're getting to that one. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So that's my number 7, but if you want, I can jump ahead. So
there
is a product called, I think, Gooby Gone.
Yeah, Gooby Gone.
And it does have chemicals in there. So just take your straight lemon essential oil, put it on those stickers, and it will come right off.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff.
Gum off and, other things that are sticky and left behind. So you can see that jar there as one of the pictures. That would be a challenging one, but it will remove it.
It takes a little bit of time and patience.
Yeah, and it'll smell good while you're doing it.
Right.
Right.
So, and well, disinfecting.
I found that if you use hot water with,
I'm
no,
sorry.
I found if you use
glue
hot water with the
Yeah, hot
lemon.
water. Yes, that does help it. Now, we have talked in other conversations about toxins. So again, you don't want to use the toxins. If you use these household cleaner, or you could make up your own solution with some using lemon and using it with some witch hazel or some vinegar, and clean countertops with that, and your kitchen and your moldy shower. And so that'll work equally as well. You could use like 40 drops of lemon to 8 ounces of vinegar or witch hazel, whatever you like. So this is a new one that I just learned about, and that you can clean leather with it. So a dab of lemon oil on a cloth will restore your leather, your shoes, leather, to bring them back to their original shine.
What?
Wow.
What will it do for our couch?
I was thinking about that, but you know how much lemon we would need? I don't know if it would. That's really
it's an affordable oil.
It's an affordable oil. That's the one good thing about lemon. It's very affordable because lemons are very available, and I'll tell you how many are grown in a year from one tree. So we're going to try the leather treatment. Now, the first picture on the screen shows you this silver candlestick. So one looks like it's a little tarnished, and one looks much better. And I have done this many times. It will clean your silver, your jewelry, and looks incredible.
Oh my God! How much do you need for that? Like for do you spray it directly on the silverware or what?
Well, what I usually do is I take one of the cotton pads, put a couple drops of the oil, and then just rub it off. If you're doing candlesticks, it'll take a little bit to do, but for things in jewelry, it really does work, and it takes it off, and you'll see that the pad gets all black.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow.
So we had talked about, putting it in drinking water, but you can cook with it as well. I mean, you can add it to tea. I use it to make salad dressings. I use it in my soups. I often like to add a little acid of lemon or lime into my soups. It just gives it a little kick. So those are things to think about. And a very popular way is to use lemon to treat mental fatigue, depression, loss of motivation. And I found out that the banks in Japan, they will diffuse the oil throughout the workplace to improve their moods and productivity. And we know there are many hospitals in this country. I'm not showing that list now, but we have a list where they use them in the emergency room. Now, I'm not saying they're using lemon. They may be using others, but they do use them for both patient reaction and also for the staff to help them.
And that's diffusing them, Vicki?
And they usually diffuse them. But it's not, and they're diffusing it in the banks in Japan as well.
Wow.
So it'd be good for us to think of doing that here. Now, I have a few sort of weird facts that I wanted to share with you.
Oh, I love weird facts.
The ancient Romans called lemon median apples, and they used the rinds to scent their clothing and repel insects. So you can still do it today, as they did back in the Roman time. The tradition of serving lemon with fish can be traced back to the Middle Ages. Now, we're not saying this is true, but the people believed that if they swallowed any bones, the lemon juice would dissolve them.
Yeah. Well, it is used as a remedy for stones, dissolving stones. Like kidney stones.
Kidney stones, okay. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It is used as a remedy for dissolving stones.
Yeah. So, and then if you find yourself without a deodorant, you can cut a lemon in half or take some lemon oil and, I would probably mix it with a little bit of a carrier oil, and you could apply it to your armpits. So one time I did make them, and never try to do it if you've just shaved. But
Oh, yeah.
I think I forgot. I was traveling, I forgot my deodorant, and I said, "Oh, thieves should work." Okay, well that was a little.
No.
Yeah.
So we live and learn. This is how we try things. So, and then one of the first ways that lemons were used to medically treat conditions was for scurvy. So on ships, across the ocean, it helped them, and it also helped with bleeding gums, loose teeth, and aching joints. But that was before discovered vitamin C. But even today, the British Navy requires that their ships carry enough lemons so that every sailor can have 1 ounce of juice per day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then the reason, I guess, that lemon essential oil is inexpensive, that lemon trees produce fruit year-round. So in the proper climate. On average, a single tree will produce between 500 and 600 lemons a year.
Wow. Another reason we live in California.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit.
Did you mention anything about like disinfectant for your hands? Like if you're about to eat something, but you've been in the city and you've been on subways and things, and you want to eat something, would it disinfect your hands?
It would. I would probably be carrying the Thieves' little hand cleaner, the sanitizer, which is what I carried with me when I went to IIN. I had that with me all the time, with going up the escalators and holding things and such. But you could use the lemon oil, absolutely.
And
because sometimes the Thieves is a rather strong smell for people around me. Like if I'm on a bus and I'm doing that, and but a lemon might be a little less intrusive to some people.
Laura, are you talking about the Thieves hand sanitizer or the Thieves oil?
Yeah, that is hand sanitizer.
Because I used that in the airplane today, and I didn't notice anyone looking on at me.
Okay.
And I typically have people looking on at me. So,
okay.
I mean, people were having little crackers for their food, and I had this 4-course unbelievable salad.
Oh, God.
Filet mignon and
that was your first class. You must have been. Oh, gosh. Wow, that's the way to fly.
So any other ways that other people use lemon or lemon oil?
I was just absolutely shocked when I did the silver cleaning with the lemon oil. That just
I'm going to try that. In fact, I'm going to try that as soon as we get off, because that would be very exciting.
Yeah.
If I may have to order the lemon oil. I have to see if I have.
Yeah, because the thing is, I don't know if you've ever, just smelling silver polish cleaner and what's in it.
Oh, it's awful. Yeah.
Awful.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I have enough lemon?
I'm sorry, what was the comment?
You
was good.
can never have enough lemon.
Right, and that's one of the oils that we order all the time.
Yeah.
Because we do go through it, and we're going to have I don't know which one we're going to put out, but we're having people here tomorrow night, and there'll be people next Wednesday for a meeting. And as it starts getting warmer, we move away from tea, and we have big jugs of water, and usually I'll put either lemon in there or peppermint. Have a nice drinking water.
I have to ring off. Thank you so much, Vicki, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Joan.
Bye.
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 So just wanted to share, there are 2 bottles of lemon that Young Living now has. So one is, I call it the original. I don't know what else to call it, but they have that as well as the Vitality brand. So Young Living has come out with a brand that makes it very easy for people to identify which oils can be ingested. So you know that anything that's Vitality is an ingestible oil. It is the exact same oil that's in the original bottle, but it makes you feel secure in what you're using.
Oh, very good.
Right.
So is there, I've always used the regular
And that's fine.
oil in my water and ingested that. Is that not a good?
No,
Oh, all right.
they're the exact same oils. This is really to protect them so that the FDA doesn't come after them, and that people know for a fact, you can use the lemon, but you may have an oil that's not ingestible. So by seeing that lemon comes as a vitality, that it is safe. So the original, they're the exact oils. It's perfectly okay.
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 I thought that there was some kind of approval, FDA approval with that vitality.
Right. So the FDA said it was okay because it is identifiable, but there's no difference in the oil. I wouldn't want people to think that they can't use the original as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same.
It's all the same. But the FDA has said that it's safe to use the vitality because it's been shown, they can say that it is ingestible.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
So, that's I can't explain the marketing. I mean, I understand why they did it. It certainly makes it easier it's easier.
So when the
USDA,
I guess they have to listen.
they do, absolutely. So there's just some of my contact information, and I will stop sharing the screen so we can see one another again. Hello, everyone.
I'm not visible.
I'm
No.
not visible either.
So the two.
I just got home and just got on the phone as quick as possible. Because
You're incognito.
So who is 267? May I ask? 267.
That's Lori.
It is Laura. Okay.
Lori Latner.
Lori.
Yeah.
Hi, Lori.
I didn't even recognize that because I'm using my home line. I don't even know my own home phone number. It's a crazy number.
Well, I'm glad you joined us, Lori.
Huh?
I'm glad you joined us this evening.
Yes. Well, it's funny. It caught my attention, and I've been wanting to do this, and so I tried to get home as soon as I could from work. I missed the first 5 minutes, I think, but yeah, this was very informative. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were here.
Me too.
Questions? Any other thoughts about lemon or anything else you want to ask about?
Vicki, do you know how much lemon it takes to make a bottle of oil? Did you
How many lemons go into one bottle?
Yeah.
I do have that somewhere. Do you remember, Lily? I mean,
75 lemons for 15.
And that makes the 30 milliliter size?
15.
15, I meant 15 milliliter. Okay. So 75 lemons. But if one tree will grow 500 or 600 lemons, and you have a grove of lemons, but they use millions of lemons a year to make them.
Just to say, it's the first slide that's all about lemon and shows the lemons there being, it's the very first slide on the presentation.
Oh, right. That's the one I sent out. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's amazing. 75 lemons and 15 mil.
Yeah, that is. Wow.
Yeah. Gives you an idea of how concentrated it is.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because it's just from the rinds. It's not the lemon juice.
Right. Yeah, it's just cold pressed.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. Right.
And that's why, it doesn't taste exactly the same as like if you put lemon juice in water. It has a slightly more oily kind of taste to it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I thought it was interesting that the essential oil of orange is a higher limonene content than lemon. I didn't know that.
Right.
That's very interesting.
And well, orange essential oil is great too. We should probably take some orange and see if it polishes silver as well. Might be interesting. A little experiment.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so interesting that these are, they're common. There's nothing extraordinary or about any of these oils, but yet what they can do and how they can, prevent disease and everything is amazing. And they're common things like grapefruit, orange, lemon. You know, it's not an exotic oil. You know.
Right. It's not one that you have to get, collect the leaves while the sun is coming up.
Right.
Is that your
Well,
language?
it's an interesting point. I didn't even put that together till now. The difference between the oil, which is the lemon rind, and the juice inside. Because I have like a tablespoon or so of lemon every morning with hot water, and that's different than having the oil.
Right. You would only put 1 drop of the lemon oil.
And that would be the equivalent of, or even better for me to do it that way.
Well, that's all you would need because it's so concentrated and so powerful.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You just need a little bit, and sometimes.
So, as far as what happens in your body or what you receive from it, is the oil more direct in the body than the juice? I mean, or do they have different ways of being in the body?
There's slightly different components that are in the rind than there are in the juice.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Also, the essential oil, it's a smaller structure of the molecule, so it's able to.
Oh, so it gets into
penetrate more quickly and deeply, and it's lipid soluble, so it goes through fat really easily, and I think there's a difference there, especially on that molecular level, because they always say about the oils why they work so well and so fast because they're so small. They can just when molecules are so small, they just get in and,
They pass in the membrane sensor. That's very interesting.
Right.
I'm going to try that.
You can benefit from the lemon besides, ingesting it or applying it, but, just breathing it, diffusing it and inhaling it. It's absorbed into your system instantly.
Yeah. All right.
So are there any other questions or comments before we bring this call to an end?
That was very helpful.
Good.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I find this to be very helpful. I'm really, really glad. I'm going to try and get onto your other ones. If I can get myself organized around it, I will.
Okay, but the ones that you've missed, I did send out the recordings if you want to listen to them.
Okay, I will do that. I'll check back.
Yeah, and you can let me know if you can't find them and I can get them to you.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you, Vicki.
Oh, you're welcome.
Vicki.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to go have some dinner. I didn't want to miss this. I'm starved.
Well, go have your dinner, and I thank you all for your time, and I hope you have a wonderful couple of weeks.
Thank you, Vicki.
Okay. Thank you, Ron.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, kids.